Hi everyone, my name is Aniasfura, and in this video I will share with you a recent study made by the Ji.Hlava International Documentary Film Festival about which regions are underrepresented in film festivals and why. Coming up. Hi and welcome back to another video. In this channel every Thursday I share tips and tools to help indie filmmakers make visible their films. So if you are interested in that and you want to be part of this community, consider subscribing. Now, let's get down to business. In the virtual version of the Marché du Film this year, 2020, the Ji.Hlava International Documentary Film Festival revealed a very interesting report where the main issues were equality, representation and underrepresentation. First, for those who don't know, Ji.Hlava is a film festival from Czech Republic and one of the largest events of its kind in Central and Eastern Europe, focusing on documentary and experimental cinema. They also have an industry program that offers a wide range of activities like conference, matchmaking accelerator, the Docu Talent platform, the Emerging Producers Project, and the East Silver Market, just to name a few. The next film festival edition will be from October 27 to November 1st, 2020. I will leave the link of their website in the description below so you can check more details on that. In time of concerns over gender equality and racial equality in the film industry, this report pays attention to the programming process selection of the film festivals through regards balance of the film world regions. When they revealed this report back at the Marché du Film, they have a debate with different festival programmers from Vision du Wheel, Bafisi, Yamagata, DocuFest, Taiwan, Doc NYC, TIFF, and Ji.Hlava to see how open they are to different approaches of filmmaking coming not from their original context. First, I will show you some numbers and then I will let you know my own conclusions about this. Don't worry about the slides, I will put a link in the description below where you can download the full report. The focus of the study is on the last edition of each film festival. It's an overview. Some of them have fiction feature films like Bafisi and TIFF, but the rest are just documentaries. As you will be able to see here, films from Australia, Asia, Africa and South America are very much underrepresented in a lot of film festivals, especially in Europe and North America. If we check first the Western Europe festival like CPH Docs, IDFA, Vision du Wheel, the average representation of these regions I just mentioned is 25%. In Eastern Europe festivals like Bell Docs, DocFest, Ji.Hlava, it's only the 13.5%, and in North America with Doc NYC and TIFF, the average is 24%. Of course, this scenario changes when we check the festivals in Asia like Taiwan and Yamagata, where the local average representation is 72.5%, and regions like Africa and South America has almost no representation at all. Finally, the study shows Bafisi, the Argentinian film festival, which is a little more balanced, although we don't see any representation from Australia and Africa, and of the 38% of South American films, 88% are national films. Now, the key question here is, why does this happen? What criteria influence the selection of films in addition to the quality? Do they also include the gender of the filmmakers, ethnicity and regions? Have you noticed how European or North American cinema is called international cinema, but global South American cinema or from Africa or Asia it's called local, which means it's a local film with international appeal, but it's not fully international? It makes me think that this underrepresentation is based on cultural stereotypes. So if we have a documentary from Taiwan or Chile that is made under these stereotypes of European or North American culture within these regions, probably they will have a better shot in this kind of festivals. But what's the point of that? The greatest thing about cinema is that show us different realities, perspectives and cultures. So why should adapt our stories that make them unique only to be part of a film festival? It doesn't make sense, right? Maybe they're not like these huge productions, or maybe they're not perfect, but there are little gems that can show the audience the characteristics of these regions and these cultures. For me, film festivals should have a discovery role, again looking for newcomers, people that is not in the circuit yet, and for films that find their own way of being told. And here's where something very special is happening right now. As you probably already know, each film festival has its own dramaturgy or editorial line, so films could be tailored for a specific festival. But now we also see a huge influence of some workshops which are helping filmmakers, but at the end they are shaping their films in a style that could be successful in TIFF or DIVLA, creating these stereotypes that could work in a particular year or edition, but who knows what is going to happen with them next. So at the end, the films that are part of the international selection are made differently for the international audience. And of course, the audience has a lot to say here too. At some point, the programming is influenced by the audience. They like to see character-driven documentaries with musical subjects. Those are the popular ones. But festivals should also show difficult films, films that don't get distribution, experimental films, daring in form and style. Now, do I think the audience from Europe or North America understand the cinema or the cultural codes from Asia, Africa or South America? Maybe a little bit. If they don't, people can learn and know how to watch these films if they have more opportunities to access to them. And film festivals play a key role in this learning curve. I would like to share with you something that Wang Lingsheng, the programmer of the Taiwan International Documentary Film Festival, said. As a festival, you always have to be one or a few steps ahead of your audience. You have to challenge them in the same way you challenge yourself as a festival programmer. And you guys have to do the same thing. Challenge yourselves to create your own style and make visible your story despite the language or cultural barriers that you could have. Because at the end, films have a cultural value. Films are an archive of memories for a human being. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you think about this report and how could maybe this impact in your work as a filmmaker. You can do it in the comments below. Once again, thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to subscribe, keep crushing it, and see you next time.